Good morning, good morning. A different time slot for today's Inspire and Be Inspired. This is prompted by an early morning pre recorded interview that I did today. I woke up unceremoniously early at 3:30 so that I could talk to a gentleman who lives in Los Angeles. It was 7 o'clock Monday night for him, 4 o'clock Tuesday morning for myself. So I've been awake since half three, as I said, just back from the gym. So feeling slightly worse for wear, and yet really energized by this really fantastic conversation that I had with Mr. Jeff Leach. He's best known, well, actually, he's known for many things, which you're going to find out about now. And he had me in stitches through this interview. I wanted to ask him so many questions about online streaming. I wanted to give him the opportunity to share the insight as to what it's all about, the highs and lows of what it means to be an online streamer, a content creator. And what followed was 60 minutes of pretty riveting stuff, actually. I'm going to share this with you now, so I hope you enjoy it. I'm loading it now on a Tuesday morning, so I hope you're going to watch it. I will be watching along with you, so if you've got any comments that you want to throw up, then please do so, and I'll be able to interact with you a lot more than I usually would when we're live. Okay, so enjoy this. I present to you Mr. Jeff Leach. I hope this is all going to work. Mr. Jeff Leach, welcome along, and thank you for giving me your time today. I feel a bit awkward. I've been interviewing people for many years, but having watched you every day on the stream, I feel like I'm coming up against a true pro now. So I feel
Oh, well, that's very sweet of you to say. Thank you.
you're the one that's going to be driving very much of this conversation.
Oh
Um,
God, see, I'm all talked out, mate. This is it. This is the nightmare of being a streamer, which is, I mean, a profession. I'm sure we'll get into this, but a profession into which I've only sort of really fallen into, I guess, over the last year again. Um, but you spend all day long talking for about 6 to 10 hours a day. Some days, 14 hours a day, and then after that, the last thing you want to do is talk, unless it's you.
ah,
That was it. That was the. But anyone else,
yeah, it wouldn't happen. Well, I am
would
truly
never have
honoured.
happened.
I am
And then
truly
I was
honoured,
like,
and
all right, well, I
I'm blown
mean,
away that you gave me your time. And
oh, that's very sweet of you to say.
I guess we really should, or I should, explain how this all came about. Um,
Yeah.
I've been gaming myself, the original gaming generation from the Caterpillar back to Space Invaders and beyond. So I've always played video games, but I've never really been a true.
Since time immemorial.
There you go.
Yeah.
Brilliant. I've never been a true gaming nerd, as you would say. I've played Call of Duty since it came out, but I couldn't tell you most of the characters or the storylines or
Right,
anything.
right.
Going
Yeah,
through
yeah,
all
yeah.
of the
You love playing games. You're not necessarily one to learn all the lore and get that deep into the communities and stuff.
Exactly. Well, it's only in the last, since COVID, really, I started to play online. I really never felt that I was good enough to do that. And it was in the last 14 or 15 months that I started going online and doing the multiplayer. I was always just a campaign
Right. Yeah.
console
Yeah,
player
me too.
on
Me too. This
Xbox.
is my first major BR game and first time playing a big battle royale like that online, with any kind of regularity. It's a very different style of gaming.
Yeah, totally different, and that's one of the reasons why I never used to do it. So one of the times I was viewing one of the streamers online. I can't remember who it was, and then I actually found out about Stone Mountain. I was watching Stone Mountain, and you were
Never heard of him.
you were you were with him on the stream, and it was so great because you
For your,
you
for your listeners, this is obviously be Stone Mountain is the biggest, probably the biggest content creator on Facebook gaming. So, which is kind of a platform like Twitch or YouTube, for gameplay. Yeah.
okay. So you putting me to shame.
No, I'm just
Giving
like
the
people go, who
backstory
the
on it
fuck is
all.
Stone Mountain?
Well, yeah,
Stone Mountain. It sounds like an old Native American name, doesn't it?
it
I
actually
met
looks
this
like
man at
an
Stone
old Native
Mountain. He
American
showed
at
me the
times.
river. The river runs right here. Yeah, it's like, I mean, he sounds like some kind of Native American guide. My name is Stone Mountain. Oh, amazing. Where are we going? To show you the ancient lands. No, he's a bloke. He's an American bloke who's about 5.5 foot tall with a big beard who plays video games every day to about 20, anywhere between 20 and 50,000 people watch him concurrently at any one time.
At any one time,
So
with over 2 million followers.
2 million followers, not bad, eh?
No,
Not bad.
no.
And he doesn't even take his clothes off.
Yeah, we'll
This
get
day and
into
age.
that. We'll get into that with yourself shortly.
Yeah.
So anyway, I was watching you playing with him, and it was quite funny. Funny maybe isn't the word I should use.
Hilarious.
You were having, aside from your comedy, you were having a few tech issues. I think you were just getting into it. You could the desk was banging, and your mic wasn't quite right.
Oh,
and
yeah, yeah,
this was right back at the beginning, and you were dying ever so much, and then. You've obviously, your skills over the last 12 months have got insane now, right? I think you'll have
They've
to agree.
improved quite a lot. Yeah.
Brilliant. Well, getting back to what I started to say, I then started to watch your live streams direct because, and I'll talk about the insanity
Like
of a
host.
grown man.
Yeah.
I'll talk about the insanity of a grown man watching another man play a video game. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Anyway,
Who are you, Bill Mayer?
you were going off on some crazy rant. I can't even remember what it was. But I could see the passion in you. You were talking about something, and for some strange reason, I just reached out and said, I'm going to be doing streaming. I'm just getting into streaming myself. I've been a DJ for a long time. This is all about me. Posted a link to my website, and you replied back, and he's like, "Oh yeah, Andy, I know who you are. We've played together, mate. I was a DJ myself."
Yeah, I think we definitely I was pretty certain at one point that we had crossed paths. I don't know whether it was a festival or a snow bombing festival or something like that. But if you haven't played either of those two festivals, maybe we haven't crossed.
But you said you played at the Ministry on many occasions.
Oh yeah, I played at Ministry. Yeah.
So tell us
Well,
tell us about
I
that.
didn't play at Ministry. I did a remix for Ministry of Sound, for example.
Okay.
Elliot Gleave, yeah. So, but I played at Turn Mills. I played a few clubs in London, but I wasn't like. Do you remember a guy called Joe Ransom? Do you know Joe Ransom?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like Joe and like Annie Mac and all that back in the day, and Hervé and all of that crew, like in the UK. I used to I was never part of the Cool Club crew because I knew Annie because I used to do stuff at BBC. Like we did TV shows together. Well, she did a different show, a music show with Nick Grimshaw, and I did something for like youth chat show, and then Kelly Osbourne did something else. But at festivals, we all used to get to put together in the artist area. So I got to know all these guys, and some of them became very good friends. Like Joe Ransom and stuff at the time, and then others we just sort of knew each other through more, just sharing drugs with each other, and avoiding death every summer together
Successfully.
Yeah. Fortunately, although a lot of my friends not so lucky, and I'm sure a lot of yours as well, and a lot of people that I know. Is Dave Beard still alive?
Yes, he is.
Thank fuck for that. I mean, if he's still going, then like anyone can make it. Because I remember the story of him at Snowbombing Festival. He was comatose for like 2 days or something, like in a hospital bed. And then when he came to, the first thing he did was like pull the IVs out of his arm and was like, all right, and then went across the road into the pub and started drinking. It's just stories like that weren't not even exaggerated.
Yeah,
I had my heart stop at festival one year, and then got up, and first thing I did after a 16-hour sleep in the artist area was get up and have a fat line of coke, and then go back down and get on it again. And you just did things like that because you thought you're impervious, But yes, those were the older days. But I was never like, I was certainly not some hotshot producer. I had about 3 or 4 remixes, and they were all remixes, not like original tracks. And then played at a lot of good clubs and good festivals. But yeah, it wasn't like I had a big residency at Ministry of Sound or anything like that. I'm not going to oversell my period as a DJ producer,
Okay, and you remind me of who you performed as, because you had an alter ego then as well. Didn't you?
Men in Masks. So when we first started, so it all kicked off with the Barfly. I used to run shows for the Barfly in Camden and do like events there, and then I started DJing at the shows afterwards. And we did this. Do you remember when there was that whole thing on Radio 1? Annie Mac was definitely a big, she sort of took ownership as like, this is my thing, I think. But the mashup, the mashup, like it was this whole period of DJing where people wanted to hear you drop like SL2 on a ragga tip and then mix that into like the Strokes and then come off the back of that into some sort of dark like pendulum track. And if you could do it well, it was like basically being an incredible selector with some rudimentary, DJing knowledge. Like, so you could mix decently. You didn't have to be the, you weren't like a scratch turntablist or anything like that, but you could mix well, you could do some good mixes, but on top of that, you were just doing something interesting with different genres of music that wouldn't normally go together. So we were doing that, me and a buddy of mine, but we were wearing Mexican wrestling masks and lycra leotards and setting off fucking confetti cannons and jumping into the crowd. And did that for a few years with some great success. And the shows got bigger and bigger, and the festival bookings came and things like that. It was kind of fun doing the BBC introducing stage at Glastonbury to an empty tent. And then after about an hour of DJing, 5,000 people in the tent spilling outside, and jumping off the stage, off your tits on ketamine while you're mixing tracks. And then it all kind of caught up with me, and I was like, I'm going to die, I think. And everyone I know keeps dying. And then one of my best friends died, and this girl, Louise, passed away. And when she died, I was like, all right, I think that should have been me. So maybe I'll give up the drugs.
Wow. So put a timestamp on that then. It's got to be early 2000s.
No, I'm 37 years old. I mean, I only got into the DJing stuff when I was about 23, maybe. So that was only like, 14 years ago. So it would have been like mid 2000s. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just younger than I look, I guess. Thanks, Andy, you fuck. It must be like early 90s. What was that? What are you, 50?
Yeah,
no, I'm not.
50,
I'm 37. But yeah, so it was a good, like, maybe about 13 years ago was when I was like really just having the craziest times in DJing and club life. And then then I got that TV job offered to me at a festival. Actually, I met a producer, and then she was like, "Oh, you're very funny. You should be." I was with the Cuban brothers. You know the Cuban brothers, right?
Definitely.
So I was with the lads, and we're backstage, and I can't remember. Me and Kengo are fucking having a joke break dance competition. He's obviously doing real moves, and I'm pretending I know what I'm doing and just being an idiot in a lycra outfit and a Mexican wrestling mask. Some producer, I was holding court and making everyone laugh. She was like, you make a really good TV presenter. I was like, amazing. Yeah, I'd love to do that. She went, all right, well, do you want a screen test? I went, yeah, 100%. So we swapped numbers, and she was true to her word. And then I did a screen test for a TV show for a BBC pitch. And it was their first one, production company called Remedy Productions. And got the show. And that was it. That was my first TV show. Was this big BBC Two Saturday lunchtime youth chat show called The Surgery. And and that was it. And then after that, I sort of cut back on things
Publicly.
I mean, I cut back on things. Yeah, I mean, you just couldn't get as messed up when you had a 6 a.m. call time rather than getting home at 6 from a club and then carrying on the party and trying to call up your dealer again. So I was straddling both worlds for a while, and then I gave up. I gave up like Class A's quite a while ago, and I gave up booze 2 years ago. Now I'm boring. Now I'm super boring.
Totally teetotal.
No. I'm what they call California sober, so I smoke weed.
Okay.
I feel like there's certain things on this planet that I'm pretty convinced are medicinal and intended for human consumption, and are positive, can be positive. I'm not saying everyone, if you've got a drug addiction, you probably shouldn't be doing smoking weed. But I don't have a drug addiction. I'm an alcoholic, and I have depression. But yeah, I never had a problem picking up or putting down drugs. I mean, I was good at picking them up, but I didn't have a problem putting them down either, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
just escapism.
Mm-hmm.
But California sober, and then for me, getting rid of the booze just made everything amazing. Life is
clarity. Some clarity.
What an easy way to control an entire global populace. Keep them all a little bit muted, dull, angry, frustrated, and and fractious energy between each other. And if you can't do it with alcohol and booze, which is the easiest available drug and probably has the worst impact on the entirety of at least Western society, if not a lot of Eastern society as well. Then you throw in a bit of political polarization. That's what's been going on for the last few years. It's just, they're all distraction tactics.
Wow. Deep.
Yeah, I know, dude. I can go off on one right now. That's why I still smoke weed, you know. Hey
Brilliant.
man, the cosmos, dude. We could be flying, bro. But these fucking governments. But you know, I got a lot of I looked at it and just went, this is something that I don't need to do to feel. I'm never going to feel content or happy if I continue to drink, certainly. So that went, and then things started to fall into place a lot better. You know?
Wonderful. How long have you been relocated over there now?
5, 6 years, I think. I was in New York City for 2 years, or almost 3 years, and then I moved to LA. So I think it's 6 years now. And yeah, stand-up comedy brought me to New York. So I was touring shows in the UK, not huge, you know. I'm not selling out stadiums like Michael McIntyre, but you know, doing like little 300-seater theaters up and down the country, and doing shows like that, and doing 1-hour solo shows at Edinburgh Fringe Festival every year, and getting some good reviews and whatnot. Doing a bit of TV hosting, and then yeah, I just realized the TV isn't challenging, and that's why I'm not trying at it. I wasn't trying to do a good job. I didn't care. I would do like outrageous stuff, which was funny and good and got a lot of excitement from viewers, but scared networks a little bit, and probably scared, you know, production companies looking at it. Oh God, can we get away with that? He's just on that live TV, like. But then I'd also bully my way on stage in front of 80,000 people with a band, because during the interview I go, I'm going to come up on stage with you in lycra silver swim shorts. Is that cool? And they'd be like, yeah, fucking hell, mate, jump up on stage. And I'd be on stage with who was it back then? Not the Kaiser Chiefs, the Zootons or something like that. You know, I'd be up on stage jumping around, you know, in front of the sellout headline show.
Shy and retiring then, basically.
Yeah, exactly. But that's what happens. You know, it's like it wasn't a false confidence, but it was like a desire to always do whatever the most extreme thing I could do. That's what I was attracted to. Whereas now I want to do extreme things to change the world for better, hopefully, in the long term.
Good. But that comes across in many of your monologues to screen. One only recently.
Monologues, I like that. Rather than just fucking the rantings and raving of a 37-year-old who shouldn't spend 6 to 10 hours behind a screen every day.
No, mate, the passion is so very clear to see. And the other day on one of your intros, one of your 20 or 30-minute intros that ended up being a 90-minute intro or something like that. It was even longer. And someone
so this is before I play video games and actually do what a lot of the viewers are there to see. I just like to talk to chat. Yeah,
it was brilliant.
It's about connection though. It's the same with you with this. I'm sure people watch it because they feel like they're here in a room. They love who you are. They love the way you talk. You know, you have a very warm, calming presence anyway. I can see that. So they're attracted to that. And that's the best part of certainly live broadcasts. I realize, unfortunately, you couldn't do this one live because it's silly o'clock in the morning. But there's something very attractive, I think, about knowing your content creator, knowing your broadcaster.
Yeah.
You know, I have built to get through radio.
I have built up a good community through the music, through the events that I do, but I am struggling to get their eyes when I am live on Facebook. I have a good podcast subscription, and so this whole the streaming thing, it's just a bit of a hobby for me, which I really enjoy. And like yourself, I'm sure as it progresses, I've got all the toys now. I've got I haven't gone as far as investing in an actual Stream Deck. I've got the Stream Deck app on my iPad.
But that's all you need, mate. I mean, a little Stream Deck I got here is great. The Go XLR is good, especially for someone in the music stuff. But I use it for like all the kind of voice stuff, you know?
Yeah.
For me, it's great just to have a little soundboard to sort of play around when I'm down in the game and I'm messing around, or I get sent to the gulag and then I bring out the
gulag demon shall unleash hell upon all of his tangles.
You know, whatever the hell it is, I can do silly shit.
We're talking of silly shit. How long has the rap thing been a thing?
Ridiculous, isn't it? Ridiculous, isn't it? And you know what's more ridiculous is that, so what you're describing is my freestyling. I am a deep lover of hip hop and rap music, always have been. I'm a deep lover of all music. I think if you love music, then you love great music from every genre. That's what it is to love music. And I built up that. Actually, that came to me a lot during the DJing days, actually, just meeting. I remember going, do you know Tayo Papula? Do you know him?
No.
DJ Tayo? No, DJ Tayo. Okay, no worries. He's mates with Joe and all that lot. So I thought maybe. So DJ Tayo, like, I remember I remember listening to some track and he played this classic tune. And I was like, oh shit, that's that fucking track. And he's like, no, this is the original. That's where the sample comes from. And I can't remember, I got a schooling from him on like loads of like soul and funk records that have been reclipped and used in various tracks and hip hop tracks and dance tracks and stuff. And he gave me a little A to Z on stuff. And I started going off and learning. Now, I'm not in any way, shape or form a big, in the same way that you don't know everything about the video games, I don't know everything about the musical world. I don't know like the entire back catalogue of any artist, or I'm not like a super nerd about one facet of music. But I do have all these weird little tidbits of knowledge about music that was born out of that period of going like, I love drum and bass music, but some of the biggest drum and bass tunes I love, it's from an old funk sample from the 70s or so, or like some old, like that little bit of vocal on that hip hop track, that's from a 1950s rockabilly act from the set, like just crazy stuff like that. And that to me is shows how, in the same way that music is so deeply linked across all genres, if you really go into it far enough and if you dive into it enough, so is all culture, so is all of humanity. You know, we are more alike and linked and have more connections than we have differences. We just, you know, I don't think we're being conditioned globally to look at the similarities. We're just being pushed to find, why am I not like you? You know what I mean? Same with music. When someone tells me they love music, I go, oh, what you into? And they go, I like rock music, man. I go, what about hip hop? You're like, oh, nah, fuck hip hop. Like, well, you don't love music. You love rock music. It's like, you know? Anyway. Yeah, so I think it's, but for you in the broadcasting, like, maybe that comes out of people are returning to wanting connections now, especially during a year when it's been very difficult to have human connection. Mm-hmm. And streaming, you said at the beginning, it's crazy for me to be, you know, an adult man watching another adult man play video games and talk and do silly voices and freestyle raps and whatnot. But first of all, that is all stuff inside of me. I walk around all day doing shit like that. Probably a bit ADHD, definitely a little OCD. I am a performer. I get frustrated and upset and down and depressed when I can't entertain people. Those are the things that I need to do. So every day I would be doing that, walking around my apartment or, you know, my house, driving my girlfriend nuts. So I might as well be doing it online and entertaining other people and lifting them out of whatever place they're in if they're not in a good place or a good spot, or if they need a bit of human connection. Mm-hmm. Radio used to do that. Old school radio. People used to just love listening to, you know, they still do. PBR does really well. Talk radio. People love it. Yeah. It's just, oh yeah, I'm having a chat with this guy.
Well, let's go back to talking about the streaming. I've got a son who, going back to the Minecraft days, he used to sit and watch people, you know, on Minecraft. And I say to him, why are you watching those people on YouTube playing the game? Why don't you play it yourself? And you know, he was a lot younger, and I just thought it was insane. And now here I am, many years.
What did he say? What was his answer? Do you remember?
I didn't even quantify it. To be fair, I didn't listen. I just found it strange. Whatever he said, it didn't really matter to me. He was wrong, right? And I was right.
It, which 90% of people have been dismissing. 99% of people have dismissed the video game industry. First of all, for years and years and years. For over a decade, the video game industry has made more money than the film and TV industries put together. Mm-hmm. The releases, the sales, the cash that comes in, the billions of dollars these companies rake in every month, the publishers especially, but the studios too, is insane. But it wasn't taken seriously until you had Kevin Spacey appear in a Call of Duty game, or, you know, what's his chops?
Was it Drake? Drake jumps
from The
on?
Walking Dead. God damn, I like him. He's a good actor as well. Wow, I'm going to kick myself after this. I have to look it up.
The dark-haired guy. I don't know his name, but yeah. But also
him appearing in games when these major Norman Reedus, Jesus Christ, Norman Reedus appearing in a game, right? You know, Death Stranding. Until you start getting these huge Hollywood A-listers and very known entities performing in these games, then people go, so this is a legit thing, is it? It's like, dude, this has been legit for a while as an art form. You just haven't bought into it because you didn't experience it. You hadn't experienced that form of art. There's an untold number of things that neither of us have yet to experience, that once we do, we might be like, oh my God, I'm I love that. I get it. I get the connection. But I had viewers who were as young as, 12, 13, and then as old as 60, 70 years old.
It is
Some people
it is
can't
truly
afford the games.
entertaining.
But there's a whole list of reasons. This is what I would have said if I was your young son back in the day is some people can't afford to purchase the games, first of all. So watching someone else play is part of the enjoyment. Secondly, a lot of people in the world of video gaming are quite solitary. It can be a solitary experience. You can play with people online. You can obviously play with random people, but you're not always very connected to them unless you're talking to them on comms and stuff, if that's in the game. So getting to watch someone else play a game you love or play the game that you're currently playing or play a game that you're interested in playing, it's almost like you're getting to play it with your friend. That's the way we talk to people when we're playing through it. Your collective name is chat. That's the hive mind's name or title for you. But I know a huge amount of about hundreds of viewers in my chat, and I know them by name now. And that's because they tune in every day. And it's just like, so-and-so on the big breakfast back in the day, speaking to a caller in, what's going on, Jackie? All right, mate, yeah, I'm calling from up north. I just want to let you know that I'm loving the show today. Oh, thanks very much, mate. Catch us on the Saturday. We'll be, and it's just like this, oh, I can be in it. I can be in this thing. And that's what it is. You're being part of the entertainment. It's all live. It's all unscripted. That's in itself quite exciting. And then on top of that, if you are a fan of the actual game or of the content that's being made, why not watch it with an exciting, entertaining personality leading you through it? Like I see myself as a comedy gaming Sherpa. That's basically what I do. Or maybe like a little sheep farmer, Not going so far as come by. I don't do that to the audience, but I'm basically there.
You haven't got the whistle down.
I'm the sheepdog protecting. Actually, I'm the sheepdog. Okay. I wish I was the wolf. Yeah. I don't know where that metaphor went. I haven't even smoked any weed today. Can you believe it? Jeez.
Well, the evening is early for yourself. I think that'll be interesting because there can't be anybody now, parents or grandparents whose family, who's youngsters aren't totally immersed in it. So this will definitely be interesting for them to get their heads around and understand it. And of an evening, I'm in the back of my house in my studio. I'll play games for a little bit, but then of an evening I'll sit on the sofa with my wife. She's watching absolutely useless TV, and I've got my iPad watching yourself and other gamers.
And both of those things, she probably thinks what you're doing is useless.
Yeah.
And the joy is that both of them feed something for you. It's an entertainment that you like. There's some kind of connection to the content that's being put out there. So you love gaming, you enjoy playing games. And also I think as a content creator myself personally, I have something particularly unique. I'm a little bit infinitely more transparent than a lot of content creators.
You think?
Yeah, I know, which is a blessing and a curse. It brings a lot of very cool people to my community, and it builds a real depth of connection with my viewers. But also, from a business standpoint, would I be further along in my career by now if I was a little less honest about everything, and if I chose to just keep some things hidden? But then I'm also not worried about that. I think if it takes me an extra few years to get where I'm going, then that's all right, as long as more people on the way have felt a connection to what I'm doing.
Well, it's authentic, right? What you're doing is 100% authentic, and the
not
growth.
Everyone wants authentic. Certainly not brands. Brands don't want authentic, do they?
No, I hear
not
that.
Really?
I hear that. Well, I don't know. Controversy sometimes can be some of the biggest exposure is from controversy.
I don't like controversy. I don't want to be part of any drama, even though I'm occasionally mixed
up. Hold on, did
some.
I just hear that correct? You don't want to be part of any drama?
No, not at all. I want to be able to talk about my life openly and honestly. I want that to help people. So when you're talking about my depression or talking about my alcohol addiction on my stream, the reason I talk about that and talk about conquering those things and be so open about that is because I know that there's a lot of people who watch who will go, oh, yeah, I feel that. Especially in the gaming world. There's a lot of people with mental health issues who find forms of art that are very solitary to find escapism. So I don't think most gamers have mental health issues. That's not a fact. But I think there's a lot of people within that community who might suffer from a mental health issue. And then I found so far, it's been amazing, especially with the Roller's Ghost in Call of Duty. That gave me such a platform and a nice bit of iconic structure within the gaming industry and and the entertainment industry, certainly in the gaming world, to have a platform to reach as many people as possible. And what happens is I now get messages every day from people going like, hey, thanks for talking about your depression. I've suffered for a long time and I was a bit scared about getting therapy, but you saying it's helped you, helped me to do this. Or more seriously, people talking about contemplating suicide or having drug or alcohol addictions for many years and they're not thinking they can get on top of it. But they go, but Ghost did it. Now, it's not, it could be anyone playing that character, but it just so happens that I've had that very personal connection with the audience where I've taken it a step further and gone, I'll let you know who I am. I'm not going to do what actors do, which is I am all elusive and secret and I'm all sexy and you don't know anything about me. Now, I'd be further along in my career if I did all that bullshit. I don't care because now I've got some kid who's just messaged me saying that he's not committed suicide because I talked about my own suicide attempt and that it can get better and that you're not going to find the escapism you're looking for. And actually the escapism comes from being more introspective, looking at your own insecurities, growing out of that experience and conquering your depression. Now that is worth infinitely more than, hey, you're already doing that leading role in that Hollywood blockbuster that you want to do, you know. And I'll get there. I just might take a few more years.
That's the end game. That's where you're heading when you talk about your career and the vision and the path. That's where you're heading.
I have a quite clear plan actually of what I want to do, but I also am open to the interpretation of that plan going in any direction because I know I can't control the future. I can only look at today and what am I doing today. So my plan is to do all of the things I've already done in my career, but to a much higher level and earn a reverence and respect within my industries for being one of the best at those things that I do. So I'm already an internationally touring stand-up, but I want to, instead of touring theaters, I want to sell out stadiums around the world. That's something I want to do. But, you know, I've already done comedy to thousands of people at festivals or, you know, in hundreds in theaters. And so it's just moving up the ladder now. Films, I've done movies, but I want to be the leading man in a huge Hollywood blockbuster. That'd be great. I want to make people cry or laugh to the point where they think about the world differently, as in my performance, you know. And then as a broadcaster, I don't know, find new and inventive and exciting ways to entertain people. I think, you know, I'm 37, but I hope I don't feel like I'm, you know, slipping towards my middle-aged period of life. I think I have a broad and wide-ranging audience because I have the youth and vitality of a youngster in the way that I talk and I embrace the future. But then I also would like to think I have a little modicum of wisdom and advice to pass on that makes older viewers or more mature viewers respect who I am as well and go, I'm not like, hey, fellow young kids, what's going on? I'm just a young dude living my life. Like I'm absolutely guilty of a dad joke. And I know that if I shave clean shaven a day later, I got a beard, you know, I did this morning, but then also, you know, you don't have to be disassociated from youngsters. And that's why when you told me about your son and talking about Minecraft, I'm glad that you talked to your son about what he's watching and what games he's into and what he watches on YouTube and things like that. Or I'm glad you did. Sounds like he's probably more grown up now.
Yeah, he's 20 now.
Oh, well, there you go. Yeah, so you should still be checking on him. What's he watching now? Probably a lot of Pornhub. But so are we. But I think there's something magical about parents caring what kind of content their kids are digesting.
Yeah.
That's stopped happening now. And that's why you've got kids going one or two terrible directions. One, going down some real dark places because they have been watching weird shit or someone sent them something. And you've got to moderate even the games your kids are playing and how they interact with people, because they can be talking to a 50-year-old in Pennsylvania who's telling them to send them pictures. You know what I mean? You've got to be careful of that stuff. Or they go the other way and then they end up one of these little toxic fuckboys who at the end of a game start shouting racial slurs or whatever. Yeah. And he's either 11 and he doesn't really know what he's doing. He has no idea the impact of the words he's using. You know, he's doing it because some older boy he heard do it and he thinks it's edgy and cool and he's trying to show off and he's trying to be a badass because he's getting bullied at school. Do you know what I mean? That's maybe what it is. Or more embarrassingly, they sound 20 or 30 years old and you're like, all right, so you are just a racist piece of shit, but you're weak and feeble-minded, so you do it from behind a keyboard through a little headset anonymously, you know. Whereas I am trying to find all of those IP addresses. I will fly personally to their home and give them a shit kicking. I'd love that. I'd love if I could just do that. Just get successful enough career-wise, where I could afford to fly to every single one of their houses.
Give every racist a kick in.
I mean, look, or a talking to. Violence is not the answer. See, this is Andy. This is how I get in trouble, because this is the level of transparency I have, where I go, why is someone a closet racist, shouting horrendous stuff at people of color or women or homosexuals on the internet? Why is someone doing that? And it's because they want to get out some anger, which is probably because they have some insecurities or some situation that's not good for themselves, right? No one's born bad. But then it's because they're weak. That's why they do it online like that. I got more respect for the neo-Nazi who marches down the street. Do you know what I mean? Like,
wears the badge with pride kind of thing.
Well, at least you know who he is. You know what's going on. Whereas most of these people don't do that shit. And yeah, there is a part of me that does think that the reason why anyone is a scumbag, certainly for men, and I'm being very Neanderthal and old school here, for men, you're a dick until you realize there are consequences to being a dick. So I was an arrogant little shit for many years. And I was even an arrogant older shit for a few years. And then I got my head kicked in, like, really badly a couple of times, and realized, and I was never bad. I didn't go out and start fights. I wasn't like I wasn't a bully. I wasn't a violent, nasty individual. I was very upset. I was very angry at the world and very sad and depressed inside. And, you know, you have a few drinks, you add that to nights out, and then some douchebag knocks into someone who's your mate and doesn't apologize, or grabs a girl you're with and he's being a Larry, you know, scumbag. And that's where I go like, I can take out all of my anger, and I can, it's deserving, you know. But yeah, sometimes you got to get your own head kicked in to go, that's not the answer, is it? That's not the right way to be. So yeah, there is a part of me that would love to see every racist get a punch in the face, but then also, if it's an 11-year-old kid, I'm not going to punch an 11-year-old. Also,
I don't know. I wanted to punch my 11-year-old once or twice.
Also, yeah, and also, like, I mean, like, why is that child repeating those things?
Yeah.
It's because it's being allowed, and I've been quite vocal about that in certainly video gaming and streaming worlds. Not, again, brands don't like that. They don't like when you start kicking off about things like racial equality. They hate that.
But talking about brands, do you want to just turn your shaker around a little bit for me? Just to hold that up to the screen.
Oh, there we go. Sneakenergy.com. Boom. Use create code Jeff. It's delicious, actually. No sugar. Anyway.
Well, you know, listen.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I didn't realise that was on camera. I was just
no. You carry on. I'm joking. That's just one of
that's one of stuff out.
Yeah. Bring them all out. All of the. What are they called?
That's when I first started gaming on my brand new AIM controller from aimcontrollers.com.
I gotta love it. There's so many twists and turns in this conversation. It's
not even twists and turns. It's one long diatribe of a man who says that he's done talking after 7 hours of doing it for a day, but loves doing it so much he can do it all day long.
It's so very apparent. Let's get back to the whole the struggles of being an online streamer. One of the things that jumped out at me the other day, and it's a phrase that confuses me, being a content creator. And you're like,
yeah,
what's a content creator? What does that mean? I mean, it's
anyone,
tough, right?
with a fucking iPhone at this point. Really.
Exactly. You were talking about a guy doing a dancing video with his 11-year-old daughter. You know, you're not a content creator,
yeah,
mate.
Exactly. Steve, he's like 64 years young. He's just done a TikTok with his granddaughter, and he's now going around a bowling club. Do you know what I mean? He's going like, I'm a content creator now. I did a video with my granddaughter, got 1,000 likes. He's a content creator. Everyone's a fucking content creator now. It's bullshit. I'm an actor and a comedian. That's what I am. That's why I do. But certainly this facet of my job, I call it broadcasting, because I think that's what you are. You're a broadcaster. You know, I know a huge amount about audio engineering and editing and producing and live production and hosting. And then I also happen to be good at a game now and be able to play it a lot, and, you know, to an almost competitive level, and like entertain people while I do that. I'm not a pro, but, you know. You're
not sweaty, as they say.
Oh, I am sweaty. I'm sweaty. I'm just not the sweatiest. We tell the sweaty lobbies. Like today, I've been matched up today with a guy, and he's clearly on a shadow ban list. So we were in lobbies with all hackers and cheaters. That's all it is. And pros, occasional pros. But it's painful, you know.
'Cause
Anyway.
I hear them talking about the shadow ban, because they're just too good for their own good,
Yeah,
basically.
he's got a really high KD. He's like a very, which is a kill death ratio,
Don't
ladies and
don't bother
gentlemen.
trying to explain it all
Nah,
because we
he's
will
very
way
good at
past all
video
of that.
games, like insanely good at video games. So what happens is people constantly report him cheating, even though he's not. But what that does is eventually it means he gets shadow banned, so he only gets put into servers with people who probably are cheating or are as good, if not better than him, so that it's never a pleasant experience to play with him because you're like, you know, I feel like
And when you're playing
a
with these
bloke with a
people,
pot on his head and a stick going up against the Spartan army.
do you have a diary of sort of, is it calculated the people that you play with for your expo? I mean, it sounds a little bit
From a business point
preconceived.
of view.
Yeah. You have to plan who you're going to play
I
for.
like to play with content creators. I mean, yes and no. Yes and no is the answer. Do the people that I play with regularly, is it for business purposes as opposed to enjoyment of playing? No, that's not the case. Because otherwise, I would play with bigger content creators. A number of my friends who I play with, they're comparable to my own size, maybe a little bit larger. Some of them a little bit smaller, if not a lot smaller. And then occasionally, I play with a few friends who are like Stone Mountain, who you mentioned earlier. When I play with him, absolutely, it's a boon to my reach and my engagement and for that stream. But it doesn't result in like an overnight. Everyone thinks if they can collaborate with this person, like, oh, if I could just play with this person, or if I could just make a record with that singer, or if I could just, that immediately means that suddenly their 14 million fans are all going to look at you. It doesn't work like that. You're better off just focusing and creating what is very singular and unique to you, and that taking off in either a huge or a limited way, but to an audience that are really going to be into that thing. And then they'll come and find you. You know, that's how I look at it.
That's what I'm all about. The organic, what I was saying about the organic growth. It's very important. You were talking again yesterday because I pay a hell of a lot of attention, as most people do, I'm sure, to the things that you're saying. And you were talking about the however many people you have on screen, the concurrent viewers at any one time, and that can range from a couple of hundred up to a few thousand, depending on where
But
you
you're being
are.
very kind to me. I think I currently average between 100 and like 400 concurrents, and on the better days, I've had more on really good days when there's something going on. But that's concurrent viewers. I mean, over the course of a stream, that'll be a few thousand. So every day I have a few thousand viewers,
But
which
you
is
broke it
nice.
down. You broke it down very well. You said 200 people watching now over the course of the 7 hours. That's X amount, and
Yeah.
so you say you've got quite a few thousand hardcore fans who are passing through and watching you.
Yeah.
I'll, it's not a secret. It's there for everybody to see. I'll struggle to get 30 people watching me at any one time, but I have to remind
You know what
myself.
it might be a little part of that also might be the back end way that you're actually broadcasting. There's so many little things, especially with Facebook as a platform. For instance, the first 2 weeks I broadcast on Facebook, it didn't log any hours of any of my broadcasts, and I was trying to enter the Level Up program, the start of being partnered on the platform, which I ended up skipping anyway, ridiculously. But I started out with the Level Up, and I was trying to do the normal things, and it wasn't logging it. And then I realized what I had to do is I had to log in through a different part of the Facebook website and hit a different button to go live. And by doing that, suddenly it logged it. So
Okay.
you might not even be getting the reach to all of your fans on your actual Facebook page because you might be broadcasting on a different part of the page. You never actually show up as live to any of your followers. It's so dumb and convoluted, and it's broken. And right now they're actually having quite a few issues with that because they've been doing lots of redesigns of the back end. So that is a struggle. That's the biggest struggle for content creators. For me, certainly, it's not being funny and having energy and being upbeat and doing things like that. It's the fact that day to day, the game that I play or the platform that I broadcast on can have technical issues, and that can hugely impact not only my reach and engageability, but also and discoverability, and engagement, but also my earnings. Day to day, I can fluctuate insanely.
It's I started saying that you can lose track. You can lose sight of the fact that if I was in a room talking to 30 people, that would be a really great thing to do. You have to.
Yeah.
It's all relative, isn't
You're
it?
like, oh, there's only 100. What am
30
I even
people, I
doing
need more.
this? Yeah.
And so I always rein it in, and I'm so so very grateful to the people that do watch it, and then of course
Yeah.
you get a few more hundred who actually come back and watch it, because now it's all about convenience and people taking in
Sure.
snippets of information
You got to
as and
remember as
when
well,
they can.
live, like people want content on demand.
Yeah.
That's how everyone receives their content now. Who's still watching fucking Corrie at the same time in an afternoon every day? Like people who.
My wife.
All right, okay. Well, sure. Okay, so some people of a generation that maybe did that, or maybe with a 9 to 5 where they kind of they can only cut, they go, this is my 1 hour to watch some TV before I got, get the kids to bed and then go to sleep or whatever, get up for work in the morning early. So people like that, sure, who have a more regimented scheduled lifestyle, but a lot of people now, a lot of younger generations, the last couple of generations from millennials downwards, we like a lot of our work hours are all over the fucking place. We're always at work. We're always on our phones, always doing some kind of work. And then you're the same as an entertainer, as a content creator, as a musical entity. You're always going to be on different hours. Oh yeah, they need a another rush of that sent through to have a listen to check if those vocals sound good before we send it back. And that you're liaising with fucking LA and Tokyo and all that. And so in terms of content and entertainment, we just want it on demand. So I always looked at it like this: whether I have 100 concurrent viewers or 1,000 or 10,000 or 1 million, I should give them the same energy and honesty and transparency and engagement, irrespective. And for that reason, that's why I don't have my streamer dashboard open during stream.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really know how many are watching unless I pull it up to look at it if I'm specifically talking about it, like the stream you saw the other day. Normally, I don't have that up. I just watch the chat and just talk to people and engage with them. And if there's like, I can tell when there's less viewers because the chat gets a little less rapid in its constant, updating. But for the most part, I don't really know. And I think that's a good way to do it because then people feel that energy. And you, like you say, you might record in front of 20 live viewers, but then you never know. Maybe there's thousands who want to listen to it, but they were at work and they're going to listen to it on the bus home, 2 days time, or they're going to, watch it after work when I get home, or they're going to.
Well, that's it. I got my head around that. I got my head around that a while ago. I've been a radio presenter for over 20 odd years now, and so doing internet radio every Sunday, just here from home,
Why are you asking me questions? I should be asking you questions.
Going through the vinyl, just remembering the good old. I actually dropped out the DJ scene a while ago because I just got sick of the touring.
Right.
But so when
Do you miss it?
No, not at all. Not in the slightest.
Really?
No.
You don't miss the energy of being behind the decks at a fucking festival and like just building something up and that drop's coming and you know that you did it and you created it. You like move that mood of especially when it's thousands of people and you can move their energy through the way that you create the overlay of music on stage. That's pretty. You do. Like, I can see in your smile. You must miss a little bit.
I had some incredible times, but I don't miss it now because towards the back end of it, it got to the point where I was drinking way too much myself. I never really dabbled too well. I say for a long time. Since before the children were born, I hadn't taken any kind of narcotics. But then I was traveling so much, and the traveling was, as you know, it's really, really hard on you.
And you never see the place. That's the worst part.
Exactly.
Flying. I used to have a little residency in Barcelona. Fly in, get picked up at the airport. It was already dark when I got there. Driven to the hotel. Cocaine is dropped off. Some bottles for the room. And then you go down to the club. Stop by a restaurant, have a little food at like 11 at night. And then a few drinks, and then you go to the club and starting a set at 2 a.m, playing for fucking 3 hours or something. Forget about it. And then you fly out the next day.
That's what happened to me. I would leave home. I was living in Spain then, so I'd leave home at 5 a.m. to get to the airport. Yeah. Long journey, 3 or 4. No, to Russia, for example, like a 13-hour flight, a 13-hour journey to get there. Time for a quick shower, into the restaurant, to the club, play my set. And then as I'm from the club back to the airport for the 13-hour drive home again, and I was doing that every week because I was getting paid quite well for it. So, but they weren't great.
Every
gigs.
Single week
for a period, yeah.
That is, that's depressing. Yeah, that would ruin my life.
Again, like you, I'm not overselling it. I know friends who do that still. Louis Vega from Masters at Work, he does that before COVID. 3 or 4 gigs a week and he's a gentleman the same, you know, in his 50s now. It's like, how can you do it? So yeah, the short answer, the short answer to your question is no, I don't miss it at all. I love doing my radio show. I love connecting with the people. I love doing these talks to screen. I actually hate being in front of the camera, as crazy as it sounds. I've got a lot of my own issues inside to address, but I'm making myself more comfortable to do it because I feel I have got a lot that I can share, and it's distancing myself from what I'm trying to do with who I am, if that makes any kind of sense whatsoever. I need a therapy session. Maybe you can recommend.
You're in a comfy couch right now. Look at that. That thing looks like it's enveloping you in a warm hug.
Yeah,
love it.
It's
very
beautiful.
comfy chair. Tell me more. How are you feeling, man? How does that make you feel?
You don't want to start me off down that route. So yeah, I wanted to talk about the frustrations of reaching it, and I think you. Piss off. I think you've.
I'm going to charge you 150 quid at the end of this. There you go. Thanks for the session. Yeah, that was great. Yeah.
I feel cleansed, actually. I do feel cleansed. I have
that calming personality. That's what it is. Tell me your problem.
Well,
I want to be an old wizard. That's what I really want to be.
Is that your persona? Is that where you want to get to?
Maybe.
Gandalf?
I feel like an old, cool wizard. He's like a fucking badass. Like, he's got the old white beard and he talks like that. And it's very much, let me talk to you. Tell me, traveler, of your stories. And then at the moment when they get jumped by the demons, he just fucking pulls off the cloak and he's cut, stacked underneath it. He's got tattoos and shit. Oh, Scott! Just like wipes them all out.
You haven't thought about it much.
Man's all covered, you know. Got a long pipe. That's what I want to be.
You haven't thought about it.
That's the life I would like to lead. I'd give up every profession I've ever done to be a fucking whiz.
That's insane. That's insane. Oh mate, I could sit and talk and I could sit and talk and I could sit and talk and listen to you all night, but I'm so conscious of. I say this to all of my guests. I'm conscious of stealing your time. It's coming up to 8 o'clock in LA now, right?
Yeah.
So what does the evening look like for you when you finish streaming?
Oh, I mean, I've got to do 3 voiceover auditions now, 2 for a couple of different video games. Just auditions though, not actually recording roles now. And then 1 for a commercial. And then after that, I got to do some cameos for some fans. They book videos where I have like a full Ghost cosplay. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I play a character called Ghost in Call of Duty. That's one of the voiceover jobs. Anyway, so that is, I wear the mask and I have like a tack vest and I do these videos on Cameo. So I've got to do a few of those tonight. And then after that, I'm going to go out and cook some fish and some veggies on a new grill I just bought for my girlfriend. I'm going to cook a bit of dinner, have a little date night under the warm Californian starry night.
That's beautiful. Well, I'm not going to keep you any longer. I'm going to ask you, if I may, to say a shout out to my son, Mikey. And
Mikey, of course, Mikey. But as Ghost or not?
No, just say hello to him. He'll like that. Just say hello.
Oh, just from me.
All
right, Mikey. What's going on, Mikey? It's Jeff Leach, aka Ghost from Call of Duty: Modern Warfare. Stay frosty.
Lovely. And the rest of another bunch of guys who are way too old to be playing video games. The Call of Duty Preservation Society, we call it.
Oh, I love that. The COD Preservation Society. Yeah. Powerful soldiers, each and every one of them. Ancient as fuck, though.
Oh, Jeff, thank you so much for giving me your time, mate. I don't even know.
My pleasure.
I don't even know how to wrap this up, mate.
Maybe I could tell people about a couple of things if they want to check out some stuff, and then I can say thanks.
Please do.
We can just kiss and you just end the camera like that on the final bit. We'll just lean into the middle of the screen. It's going to be magical. Wait, you got to go that way. We'll go to the side and then the other side. There you go. Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay.
We'll meet in the middle for a little kiss. But if I broadcast Monday through Saturday for about 6 to 10 hours a day, but normally about 6-7 hours. And that's on Facebook Gaming. So fb.gg/Jeff Leach Comedian. And I got videos going up every single day, pretty much on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. And then that's it, really. Yeah, you can see him play me as Ghost in Call of Duty Modern Warfare right now, Warzone. And then I've got some other great games coming out this year, and I'm not allowed to talk about them, otherwise I'll lose those jobs. I've learned that lesson now. Keep your mouth shut.
Yeah.
They're going to be great, though. They're going to be really good.
Well, I'm sure I'll get the heads up as soon as you're allowed to reveal it on the stream.
Exactly.
My friend, thank you so much for your time. I truly appreciate it.
Man.
And you have yourself a great evening.
Take care, buddy.
Take
See you
care.
later, man. Bye-bye.
Nice. Perfect. Right, I'll edit
It's all
that
good?
out. Yeah, but amazing, mate. Like I say, I really could sit. Wow. What about that then? Mr. Jeff Leach, aka Ghost. Just one of 3 talks I'm doing this week. Last night was Lee Fisher and Jim Shafran. What you just saw was recorded at 4 o'clock this morning, talking to Jeff over in LA. If you're only catching the back end, I strongly recommend you go back and watch the whole interview. And then on Thursday at 6 o'clock UK time, I'm going to be talking to Lars Behrenroth, who's going to be giving you some really, really insightful information regarding online streaming. He's been doing it way before most of the DJ population. So let me take this off. You can see me here. Thanks for being here, guys. Tuesday morning, just a quick one. Now, inspire and be inspired, as a lot of people who catch this live are fully aware, it's its own channel. I'm struggling to get into the line of sight of many people, so all of your shares and likes are really appreciated, and I thank you for taking time out to be here today. So don't forget, go back, check out the recording. Please do like the page and give us a share of any videos that you see at any time. I'm just going to leave you to get on with your day now. Thank you very much, and I'll be here on Thursday. Have a good one now.